Welcome to 30k channel. I'm David.
And I'm Boris.
And we are back for a Rising Tide, the third part in our XENOS versus Knights campaign.
Yeah, Enemy Unknown.
Yes, where are we in the campaign at the moment?
All right, so we've played 2 games out of 6. We've clashed twice. 1 win for House MALINAX, 1 draw.
Yeah.
Last game. Spoilers, if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. So we're on the planet Fraxis 3. New tributary world for Xana 2, the Mechanicum world that House MALINAX belonged to. And there is an enemy unknown, XENOS threat, coming out of the ground, as we saw in the last game with the nests. And in this game, the Mechanicum, Dark Mechanicum and MALINAX have started to realise the sheer scale of the problem. There's a lot more little beasties than they thought there were, and they seem to be attracted to sort of the waste that the industrial output of the planet produces, and they kind of throw away in crates. As you'll see later, that's represented in Dominion objective, little objective markers, little crates. So they found the greatest concentration of the XENOS that have clustered around a small settlement that has now been abandoned, and they have sent another Knight banner to go and eliminate the threat.
Whoa, the tension is ramping up here. It's almost like a parallel to Godzilla here when the mutoids were trying to get all the nuclear away. So there was kind of a nice little synergy there, which was quite cool. You've got some different knights in your list today, haven't you?
Yeah, a bit of a stray, a bit of a mix up. We've gone with the Mechanicum-esque knights.
Yep.
We've got some Majira and an Atropos, so those ionic flare shields you love so much. The -1 strength.
Horrible.
We've got the flame cannon on the Cerastus, and some heavy firepower from the Wardens with the Avengers. So should be really fun. A lot of firepower. So something we lacked before. I think last game we had some few amounts of high strength shots, which is good for some things. But this game we're going to have a lot of DACA.
Yeah.
Use an orc term.
Plenty more. If we look at the XENOS list, they've just got another Guardian drone. So there's 2 Guardians and 4 of the worker drones, as it were. So yeah, an objective-based game. We're gonna have to start thinking a little bit more tactically now instead of just running at each other and smashing each other's face in. So we've got 5 objectives on the boards. So yeah, I think it'll be a different type of game, this one.
Yeah, it's just Dominion, Dawn of War. You've used some sneaky tricks, and infiltrated a couple of units, and you have 1 in reserve.
2 outflanking.
2 outflanking, excuse me. So I presume to get behind those flare shields, basically. Yeah,
those ionic flare shields on the Mechanicum Knights, they're really tough. So we're only glancing on 6s now, which is really tough. Yeah,
and so far my ion shield saves have been fairly good.
Ooh-wee.
Go back and watch the last game if you want to. The dice are available for purchase.
Good plug, I like it. Absolutely.
But yeah, other than that, it's just a straight up Dominion game with the standard rules, everything down to centimetres rather than inches. Yeah,
one final thing though, the range for the objectives, we've increased it to 6 centimetres.
Yeah, rather than 3, because 3 centimetres is basically a small 32mm base almost. You have to be almost standing on top of it. So we wanted to just give the, whereas normally you can sort of cluster a squad around it, just give it a little bit of range. So we just tweaked that ever so slightly.
Absolutely. And all these rules can be found on the Facebook page with a document that Boris has prepared. So it's a fantastic document and details all the lists, and so you can refight exactly what we've done, or you can use your own forces and design your own army lists and stuff. So, but the basis is there to kind of fuel your own games, I guess.
Absolutely.
All right, so in the roll-off, you're going first right now, aren't you?
Yeah, it was a draw last turn, so we just rolled off as standard. Knights won, so we chose to deploy first, go first. However, you fancy a seize?
I'm going to try and seize. There's some good 6s on these, so let's have a whirl. Oh, before we go, knight fighting, what's happening there?
Oh, true, okay. I have ocular augmetics on some of my knights this time, so I would quite like knight fighting to get away from those drones turn 1. So let's see, 4 up. That's a 6, so we are knight fighting turn 1.
You stole my C's.
I did.
All right, let's have a C's. Oh, it's out of the dice tray. What an idiot. I've got another one here. Hang on.
Oh, 1 away.
Close. All right, we'll go first turn to the knights. The XENOS force is led by a Guardian drone, who is the Warlord, and it is equipped with a telekinetic dome, a heavy mine blast, and cluster spines, as well as a disruption spike. There is also a second Guardian, armed identically. The force then includes 3 units of 4 worker drones. They're equipped with a lesser telekinetic dome, mine lance, and cluster spines.
Leading House MALINAX is a Lord Scion in a Cerastus Knight Atropos chassis. It is equipped with a las cutter and a graviton singularity cannon, as well as an ionic flare shield and blessed autosimulacra. Single fast attack choice is a Scion Dolorous, equipped with a Cerastus Knight Acheron chassis, Acheron pattern flame cannon, a Reaper chain fist with an inbuilt twin-linked heavy bolter. The first of 4 Scion Marshals in troops. 2 are Questoris Knight Wardens, equipped with Avenger Gatling cannons, heavy stubbers, and a Reaper chainsword. The second 2 Scion Marshals are Questoris Knight Majiras. They're equipped with lightning cannons, and they have upgraded to have a Hecaton Siege Claw with a twin-linked Rad Cleanser. They are also equipped with a phased plasma fusel and blessed autosimulacra. House MALINAX turn 1 movement, and it's been a general advance across the line. We've literally moved forward in a line. We've moved on to 2 Dominion objectives, 1 either side on the flank, with a Majira and a Warden each. The Atropos and the Acheron have both moved forward and will probably use their flank speed to get right in the centre of the board. We're going to have to play aggressively to see if we can capture or deny at least 3 of the objectives for the first few turns. Turn 2 shooting phase, and we're going to do some run moves for the units out of range. The Acheron used its flank speed and managed a 9. Next up, the Atropos was just out of range, really unfortunately, so we used flank speed as well. Rolled a 12, which is pretty good, so we moved forward aggressively, and we're just going to rely on those flare shields to keep us safe for the first turn. Next up, the Knight Warden on the right flank is also out of range, so we just ran and managed a 4. Lastly, the Knight Warden on the left flank also ran a 5. The Majira on the right flank fired at the worker drones, also on the right flank. Lightning Cannon struck out, scattered slightly, but still managed 2 hits, which is great. It's Strength 7 AP3, so we are wounding on 4s, however it does have Shred. Not needed, so double 4.
Oh, straight onto our vulnerable save, 5 up. Okay, save 1, and now we get Feel No Pain 6+. Yes, look at that.
Cheeky. End of turn 1 for MALINAX. Not too effective, but we're just getting ourselves into position. We need to survive the enemy shooting, but at least we are moving up across the board, which is good news.
XENOS turn 1 movement. Great start to the turn. Due to the infiltrate, there was 2 units on those objectives. So the central one is that bunker, and then over on the left-hand flank, we've got one of those crates. So 2 points secured at the beginning of the turn. The Guardian drone moved down from its high position on top of that hill into kind of the concreted area in the gully, and will try and shoot the Acheron that's lurking behind that building. XENOS turn 1 shooting. We're going to start with a Guardian drone and its heavy mine blast into the front of the Knight Acheron. We require 2s to hit. Oh, where was that Warlord trait when we needed it? The worker drones are using their psionic focus to focus all of their firepower through one of the drones, and they will too fire into the Acheron. There is 11 shots, and they require 3s to hit. Oh, a couple of 2s, but that's not a bad roll. 1 over there. And we are 5s and 6s to glance and pen. So that's 1 glance and 1 pen. Let's have a glance.
Glance. 4 up ion. Goes through. Pen. No, also goes through. Ions are not as effective today.
That's just good news. All right, we'll see if we can cause any further damage on a roll of a 6. We don't, so that's 2 whole points. The unit of drones on the left-hand side will fire at the Knight Majira. It does have an ionic flare shield, unfortunately, so we're only glancing this on 6s. There are 11 shots requiring 3s to hit. A few more 2s and 1s than we would have liked. And 6s, big roll here, 2 at least, come on. Oh, wow, look at that, 2, we'll take it.
Okay, 4 up iron shield. Wow, both go through again.
Holy hell, all right, +1 to the result of this on the damage chart. No, so just 2 whole points. End of turn 1 for the XENOS, not a bad turn, 4 whole points and 2 objectives in the first turn is a pretty good achievement. We've still got our reserves to come on, hopefully in the next couple of turns, and those knights are getting closer and closer.
MALINAX turn 2 movement, and we're continuing the aggressive push. The two Wardens on both flanks have run forward full speed, as have the Acheron and the Atropos in the middle. We're going to shoot or possibly flank speed just to get right into the middle of the field. We're going to use our advantage for as long as possible while the enemy reserves are off the board, and we'll see if we can take the centre of the board. At the beginning of the turn, we also held 2 Dominion objectives, so we scored 2 VPs. Turn 2 shooting, we're going to start with the Night Warden on our right flank. It's going to open up with its Avenger Gatling cannon into that squad of worker drones on the objective. See if we can peel off a couple of wounds. 12 shots, hitting on 3s. That is not too bad, unlike last game. 3 miss. We are then 5s to wound. This is AP3. Oh, that is good. Nice. So that is 3, 4, 5, 6 wounding hits at AP3.
Oh, wowzers. All right, invulnerable 5+. Oh, wow. No. Come on, 6s, feel no pain. No, nothing. So that will kill 1.5 drones.
Next up, following on from the Warden success, the Majira behind is going to fire its lightning cannon. It scattered a single centimetre, clipping 2 of the drones. So we have 2 wounding on 4 with shred from the lightning cannon. Yeah, that is 2 wounding hits at AP3.
Oh, 5 ups again for the invulnerable fail. We don't lose another drone here. 6 up, feel no pain. Just.
Quickly going back. We're going back to the Night Warden, and we forgot the heavy stubber for the win. Let's see if we can drop the last wound on that drone. 3 shots, only 1 hit. It could be enough though. Wounding on a 6. No, that is a 2. Next up, the Night Warden on the left flank ran, as it's not in range, I can't see anything, so it ran a mighty 4. The Knight Acheron wanted to run him into the centre of the board with our that excellent flank speed rule, but it probably would have meant he'd get shot by 2 or 3 different units in the side or the rear next turn. So we're just going to use the Flamestorm cannon. It is within range to hit 1 drone and then the heavy bolter. So we'll start with the heavy bolter hitting on 2s, as he is the Warlord. Lord Scion, all 3 hit. 6s to wound, unfortunately, no wounds, and then a single hit with the flame cannon, 4s to wound, strength 7. That is a 5, so that is an AP3 wound.
Ooh, invulnerable save 5+. Feel no pain 6+. No, that's a wound.
Last to fire, we have the Knight Atropos, tempted to shoot into the Guardian drone, but he has quite a good inbun against shooting, so we decided to continue pouring fire into the central worker drone unit. Fired the Graviton Singularity Cannon, which hit and clipped 3 drones, which is excellent news. Need to roll on the Collapsing Singularity to start with. 4, okay, so no bonus, but no negative, which is great. 3 hits, and it's strength 8 AP2, so 3s to wound. That is 2 wounds, I'll take that.
Ooh, all right, 5 up. Invulnerable. Wow, look at that.
Just before the end of the turn, we have a Blessed Auto Simulacra roll for the Majira on the right flank. That is a 6, fantastic. End of turn 2 for House MALINAX, pretty good overall. We dealt a lot of damage to 1 unit of worker drones and started chipping away at the central one. The Majira getting a whole point back was great. However, we're really aware the next turn is when the reinforcements for the XENOS will turn up. And more importantly, they'll outflank and probably start shooting us in the rear or side. So we'll have to start making just tough decisions about where our iron shields go. And as we know from previous games, that's when knights are in trouble.
XENOS turn 2 movement phase. Great to have some reserves come on in the form of a 4 unit of drones, which is great. The Guardian drone has stayed off, unfortunately, but the other Guardian has pushed forward towards the Atropos, as has the 4 drones there. And on the left-hand flank, as well as capturing an objective, they've just shuffled around just so the wounds are towards the back. At the beginning of the turn, though, 2 objectives were captured, which is a really, really good start to the turn. XENOS turn 2 shooting. We're going to start with the drones that outflank to the rear of that Majira. They are in its rear arc, but the iron shield is facing the rear. We get 11 shots, requiring 3s to hit. That was alright, only dropping 4 total. And now we need 5s and 6s. Excuse me, we need 6s because the Ionic Flare Shield, so that is 1 glance.
Okay, 4 up ion. Passed.
The Guardian drone fires a heavy mine blast into the front of the Atropos and requires a 2 to hit. Oh, thankfully we hit this time. Let's roll on the chart to see what we get. Oh, that is a 6. That is good stuff. But it does have the Polaric special rule, which means instead of the Destroyer, it just suffers D3, but there is an invulnerable save.
Okay, Flare Shield goes through, so that is D3 hull points.
All right, let's have another 6. Okay, that's 2 hull points. Also firing to the Atropos are the 4 unit of drones there. 11 shots requiring 3s to hit. Could have done with that Warlord trait. 4 1s, wow. And 6s again due to an Ionic Flare Shield. 2, come on. We get 1, that'll do.
Okay, Flare Shield 4 up. No, another hull point goes through.
We've got a nice long shot from those drones on that objective on the far left of the battlefield there, firing into the side of the Atropos. It does get a cover save, but there's no Ionic Flare Shield. 9 shots requiring 3s. Oh, that was a terrible roll. More 2s than we care to think about. And we require 5s and 6s. Oh, not a sausage. What a shame. XENOS turn to assault phase. The worker drones charge the Atropos. Whether it's a good decision or not, we don't know. But there are 4 Hammer of Wrath, and we will cause a hull point on 6s. Oh, I saw a flash, but no avail.
Striking back at initiative 4 before the drones get a chance to do their nasty smash attacks, we have 4 attacks base with the Las Cutter in the close combat setting. So hitting on 3s, drop 1, not too bad. It is a destroyer attack, AP 1. So that is 3d3. However, you do get your invulnerable saves against those attacks.
All right, so let's have some 6s here. Oh, that's a no.
Okay, d3. So that is a 1, a 2, and a 3, respectively.
We've got 6 wounds to take with our Feel No Pain. 6s required. Oh, we get 2, which is great. So that will kill 1 of those drones. Finally, we've got the 3 splash attacks coming from the drones, and they require 4s to hit that Atropos. That's not bad too. Their strength 10, so 3s to glance, 4 to pen with a reroll. That's good. We've got 2 pens. So that's 2 hull points, and then we'll see if we can get some extra damage on a 6. Oh, which we don't. That's a real shame. So that Atropos has 2 hull points remaining. End of turn 2 for the XENOS. Not a bad turn. 2 victory points begin the turn, and another unit on, which was really good from reserves. Unfortunately, those Ionic Flare Shields are giving us a massive headache, but we're in combat, and we'll see what we can do in the next few turns.
MALINAX turn 3 movement, bit of a reactionary turn. The Majira on our left flank just turned to bring its guns to bear. We're staying on top of that objective, which is key. The Warden pushed towards the other objective and might make a run move to get himself on top of it so he can get 3. In the centre of the board, the 2 wounded Cerastus chassis are going to continue piling away. The Acheron is going to see if he can come to the aid of the beleaguered Atropos and charge in to that combat. On the other objective, the Majira has just moved to bring its guns to bear up onto that ridge, but it's staying within range of the objective, and the Warden has broken cover and is making its way across open ground to see if it can make its way towards the final worker drone unit and knock them off that objective. MALINAX turn 3 shooting phase. We're going to start with the Warden. It chose to run to get right on top of that objective so it can start scoring it next turn. We're behind on VPs, so need to catch up. Rolled a mighty 5. Next up, the Majira on our left flank fired its lightning cannon at the newly arrived worker drones. A hit meant it clipped 2 of them. Strength 7 with shred, so 4s to wound. That is 1 wound, luckily shred. 2, that is double 6.
Wowzers. All right, 5 up, Feel No Pain. Sorry, invulnerable. 6 up, Feel No Pain. Wow, look at that.
The Majira also has a plasma fusil. It will fire, so 3 shots hitting on 3s. All 3 hit, that's great. Only strength 6, so 5s to wound. Double 6, that is 2 wounds. AP3, so cuts through their armour.
Jeez. All right, invulnerable 5+. No. 6 up, Feel No Pain. No, and that is 2 wounds.
Wow. The Majira on the right flank is going to fire its lightning cannon as well. Slight scatter, but still 1 hit on the unit, so 4s to wound. No need for the shred, AP3.
Invulnerable 5+.
There we go.
Good stuff.
Next up, the Warden that's making its way across open ground is also going to open up with its Avenger Gatling cannon. 12 shots hitting on 3s. Oh, that is good again. So only 3 dropped. And then we are wounding on 5s. Ooh, not as good. Only 3 wounds this time, but it is AP3.
Cool. All right, invulnerable 5+. 1. 6 up, feel no pain. Double 6. Oh, 1 wound caused.
Turn 3 assault phase for MALINAX, and the only assault is the Acheron is going to charge in to help out the Knight Atropos. 4 centimeter charge, made on a 6. Start of the combat, Hammer of Wrath, initiative 10, strength 10, so 2's to wound, that is a wound.
3 up armor save. Oh, that's a fail, and then we get feel no pain 6+. Out of the dice tray once again. Oh,
there we go.
Look at that.
Striking initiative 4, we have the Lord Scion in the Acheron, 5 attacks on the charge, hitting on 3s, that is 4 hits, that's fantastic. And these are destroyer hits from that Chain Fist. Ooh, so that is 3d3 and 1d6 plus 6. The Death Blow attack just simply straight up kills one of the drones. We have 3d3 hits, which you get invuln saves against.
Yeah, okay, we need some good rolls here. 6+. No, we don't get any of those, unfortunately.
Okay, so then 3d3, that is a 1, a 2, and a 3 again.
Assigning these wounds, we'll start off with the one that's in contact with the Acheron. So we need feel no pain 6+ to save those wounds, which we save 1. So he's suffered 2. Then we've got another wound, which we'll put on him on a 6. No, he's got 1 remaining. And then we've got 2 saves from this one. No, so 1 is dead, and the excess wounds are lost.
Next at initiative 4, we have the Atropos. He's going to try and squish that last remaining worker drone. 4 attacks base. Only 2 hits. That's not as good, but we are still on the destroy table with the Las Cutter. That is 2d3. However, invulnerable save first.
Oh, we need this real bad. 2 6s. Come on. No.
Okay, 2d3. Well, it's only a 1 and a 2, so it's only just enough to kill him. But you get your feel no pain.
All right, 3 wounds. We'll do this all in one because there's only 1 model left, and we require 6s. We need 1 at least. Wow. All right, he lives to fight another day. Finally, that lowly drone will get to attack the Atropos. So let's see if we can hit him first of all with our smash attack. 4s to hit. Oh, we do. Lovely. So we're strength 10, 3s to glance. Yeah, we'll take that. That's a glance. And that will put a whole point on the Knight. Finally, at the end of that combat, the worker drone does have the opportunity to hit and run. It would be amazing to get this off. So we need an initiative check of 3 or under. Fingers crossed. Oh, where are those 6s earlier? Okay, that combat will continue.
End of turn 3 from House MALINAX. Not bad overall. We're looking a little shaky in the middle. That Atropos has a single hull point remaining. Did our Blessed Auto Simulacra rolls, and neither the Atropos or the Magira regained a hull point. However, we are on 3 objectives for next turn, if we can stay on top of them. And we've pushed the drones off 1. However, we have another Guardian drone probably coming in next turn, which is going to get really scary really quickly.
XENOS turn 3 movement phase. Finally, the Warlord has arrived from reserves and is outflanked next to the Magira over on this side of the board. The drones have surrounded it and will try and put their firepower into the side and the rear to bring it down. The other Guardian drone has moved forward to engage the Atropos. It is the Warlord and has 1 hull point remaining, so hopefully we can finish off that in combat. And then finally, a victory point was scored at the beginning of the turn from this unit of drones. We'll try and pour some shots into that Warden. XENOS turn 3, shooting phase. We'll start off on the left-hand flank, shooting into the Warden there. We've got 8 shots from those drones. It requires 3s to hit. Ah, not too bad. And this time we do need 5s and 6s. No Ionic Flare Shield, thankfully. Oh, it's a glance, maybe.
Okay, 4 up Iron Shield save, made on a 6.
Well played. The drones on this side of the board will fly into the front of that Magira. It has its flare shield at the front, unfortunately. So we've got 11 shots, hitting on 3s. 2 extra there. That's not too bad. So not bad. We dropped 4. And now we require 6s. Yeah, we'll take that. That's 4 in total. Wow.
Nice. Okay, 4 up Iron Shields. 2 go through.
Finally, the Guardian will fire its heavy Mind Blast, requiring a 2. This is a good start. It's unshielded, which is good stuff, and we'll run the Destroyer table for a 5, and that causes D3 hull points for a further 2. The Guardian also has some cluster spines. There are 3 shots, hits on 2s, which they do, and we will require 6s to glance. There's 1. Yep, so that's a further glance. Finally, the Guardian drone has a destruction spike. which is a haywire attack with the flamer template. It has hit, and we just require a roll of a 2, so that is a glance, and that will destroy that knight. Let's roll on the table. It's a 4, and then we'll see where it goes. Okay, so that hits bang on. We'll have a quick measure and come back to you. As a result of the Titanic explosion, the D blast of that center does not clip anything, but they are clipped with a strength 10 AP3 hit.
Okay, 2 hits, 2 to wound. That is 2 wounding hits, AP3.
All right, feel no pain. Sorry, invulnerable 5 up, 6 up, feel no pain. No, and we suffer a wound. Moving on to the next combat, we need a charge from the Guardian drone. With a mighty 8, it makes it in. Starting at initiative 10, the Guardian drone has a Hammer of Wrath attack against the side armor of the Knight Atropos and requires a 4 to glance. That is a glance, so that will destroy the Atropos. However, everything is super close, so let's roll on a damage chart. Oh, that's an explosion on the catastrophic damage table. We'll have a quick measure and come back to you. The shot scattered and landed between the central objective and the Knight Acheron. Unfortunately, or fortunately for the XENOS, it's been hit by a D. So let's roll on the. Let's have a roll on the destroyer table, and that is a 5. Okay, so it's a solid hit, and the Acheron suffers D3 hull points, which is a 1. So not too bad. The worker drone will also suffer a wound on a roll of a 6.
Yep, strength 4 hit from the rest of the blasts. So no, that is a 4, so it escapes unharmed.
All right.
After that impressive result from the XENOS, the Acheron will strike back at initiative 4 with its chain fist. It's going to put its attacks into the worker drone so we can destroy those units for the attrition. 4 attacks hitting on 3s. Wow, only 1 hit. That's appalling. It is a destroyer weapon result, however, so 6. That is perfect. So the wounds can't spill over to the Guardian, really unfortunately, but no saves of any kind allowed, so that worker drone is utterly annihilated.
At initiative 2, the Guardian drone piled into combat, but unfortunately could not make base contact, and therefore the combat ends. The 2 units will just move together and will fight in the next turn. At the end of turn 3 for the XENOS, that was a really good turn. Taking out Warlord due to a Hammer of Wrath in the centre of the board was fantastic. And finally, the Warlord arrived and used its destruction spike to good use by getting down the hull points on that knight on the right-hand flank. Other than that, we're in a really good position, and we'll see what we can do.
MALINAX turn 4 movement phase started. We scored 2 victory points, 1 on the right flank with the Magira that's held since the start of the game, and the second with the Warden on the far left that moved forward and did score the point. We lost the Magira on the left, unfortunately. In the centre, that combat's going on. It's anyone's guess as to who will win. We might be able to luck out with our destroyer attacks, but those Guardian drones are tough. Finally, the Warden on the right flank continued its march across the open planes and will fire and attempt maybe a charge into that squad. If we can secure multiple objectives, we might be able to rack up enough points to survive and win the game. Turn 4 shooting for MALINAX. We're going to start with the Magira, fired out with its lightning cannon again and hit that squad guarding the objective. 1 hit, 4s to win with strength 7 with shred, thankfully for the lightning cannon. That is a wound, so AP3.
All right, invulnerable 5+, fail. 6 up, feel no pain, also fail. They take a wound.
Next to fire, we have the Warden with the mighty Avenger Gatling cannon. We're going to see if we can peel off one of those drones. 12 shots hitting on 3s. That's not too bad. Drop 4, it's about average. Then we are wounding on 5s, but it is AP3, so let's see what we can do. That is not bad at all. 4 wounding hits.
Whoa. All right, we go on to our 5 up invulnerable. Oh, that's good. And now a 6 up feel no pain. Jeez, that is amazing.
Following on from that amazing feel no pain, we have the mighty heavy stubber as well. 2 hits, 6s to wound. Come on. No, not quite. Can't manage it. Next to shoot, we have the second Night Warden. It's also going to fire its Gatling cannon into the squad of worker drones. 12 shots hitting 3s. Ooh, that is good. Only missed 2 shots. Oh. We are then wounding on 5s with strength 6. Ooh, that is not good at all. A single wounding hit. It is AP3, however, so...
All right, 5 up.
Oh, I love it. Turn 4 assault phase, and the Night Warden's going to try a long bomb charge into the worker drone unit. Requires a 10. That is an 11. Fantastic. Straight into combat with the Warden and the worker drones. Initiative 10, we get a Hammer of Wrath at strength 10. That is a hit.
3 up armor save. Passed.
Lovely.
Another 6. That's like 6 in a row now.
4 attacks on the charge, 3s to hit. Oh, that is 2 2s, so 2 misses. However, destroy attack with that Reaper Chainsword, so 2 rolls on destroy table. That is only 2d3, but can't complain.
Okay, let's have some invulnerable 6+.
Wow,
jeez.
Hot dice today. So a single d3 worth of damage. Oh, that is a 1, so only 1 wound.
All right, feel no pain for him. No, and one of those drones takes 1 wound. Striking back, the worker drones will come in with their smash attacks, requiring 4s to hit. Oh, we only get 1. We need a 3 to glance. We do get 2 dice out the dice tray, and that is a penetrate. No ion shield there, so 1 whole point. But let's see if we can cause any additional damage. A 6 would be nice. Okay, so 1 whole point.
Into combat between the Acheron and the Guardian drone. We really need to fell this big beast as we are only at half health. We have 4 attacks. Initiative 4 will strike first, hitting on 3s. All hit. That's fantastic. We now have 4 rolls on the destroyer table with that chain fist. Okay, that is no 1s, but no 6s, so 4d3. However, we have to cut through an invulnerable save first.
All right, so we get 5 up invulnerable for the Guardian. So we pass 1, but 3 of those get through.
Okay, so 3d3. The Guardian drone has 6 wounds to get through. Ooh, that is 4 wounding hits, so not quite enough, and there is a feel no pain.
Ooh, okay, so we've got a 5 up feel no pain for this beast. So we get 1, so we suffer 3 wounds. Next to strike is the Guardian drone with 2 attacks and requires 4s to hit the Knight Acheron. That's not too bad, we get 1 hit. The Destruction Spike has hit. It's a Strength 10, Armor Bane, AP 1 concussive attack, so we need a 3+ on 2 dice, which we get thankfully. And let's see if we can cause any additional damage. Which we do, and it causes an additional d3. Oh my god, so that's 4 in total, and that will destroy that knight. Rolling for catastrophic damage, we get a 4, which is a Titanic explosion. Let's see where that scatters. The shot has scattered to just behind the Guardian drone, and it will be clipped by that D shot. So rolling for the damage.
Okay, destroy a weapon table. 2, so that's d3 wounds onto the Guardian drone.
All right, but we get a invulnerable 4 up, which we fail.
d3, 2 wounds.
Finally, at the end of that combat, the Guardian drone will consolidate 4 centimeters.
End of turn 4 for House MALINAX, and that is quite the turnaround. We have 3 knights left on the table, and both our Warlord and the other heavy hitter, the Acheron, are both dead, and that centre ground is lost. However, we are on 2, if not 3 objectives for Dominion, and we are contesting. So we'll see if we can rack up enough points to survive to the end of the game.
XENOS turn 4 movement started with some points being scored on this objective. They were just inside, and then the unit moved up to make sure they confirm it for later on in the game. The Warlord Guardian moved towards the Warden. The other Guardian that's on one wound rather, moved towards the Mechanicum Knight that is tucked behind that building, but will also fire down at the Warden in this turn as well. And then finally, left-hand flank, the objective is being contested. So that combat will continue. XENOS turn 4 shooting. We're going to start with the Guardian drone that's in the centre of the board there, firing into the side of the Warden. The shield is on the front, so we're getting an unfettered shot at the side of it, requiring 2s to hit. Oh, unbelievable. All right, we'll move swiftly on to the Warlord Guardian drone. Again, same thing, 2s to hit. We hit this time. And it's a D shot. Let's see what we get. That is a 1. That is nothing at all. Those 6s are coming back to bite me. It looks like we're going to have to rely on the workers, which is generally the case in these sorts of things. So we have 11 shots into the front of the Warden, requiring 3s. That is a lot of 1s. My luck has started to turn. And we require 5s to glance and a 6 to pen. We get 1 pen.
All right, 4 up ion. Passed on a 6.
Good work. XENOS turn 4 assault phase, and we'll go straight onto the left-hand flank with the worker drones against that Warden. Warden will strike first.
Okay, 3 attacks base, hitting at initiative 4, so hitting on 3s. 2 hits, not bad. And then Reaper Chainsword, Destroyer attack. Oh, that is 1 drone completely destroyed with no saves of any kind, and 1 D3.
That does kill 1 drone, and now we're on to another one that's suffered 3 wounds already. So we do get an invulnerable save, thankfully, 6+.
Wow, there we go.
Unreal. In return, 2 smash attacks from those drones requiring 4s to hit. That's a double hit. We need a 3 to glance, being strength 10. Thankfully, we get to re-roll because we're doing a smash attack. That is 1 glance and 1 pen. So let's see if we can cause any additional damage on a 6. No, so 2 whole points, and that knight is down to half health. Nice swift turn 4 there for the XENOS. A little bit unfortunate that both the Guardian drones didn't do particularly well in their shooting attacks. That's where they are very, very strong. However, we're on an objective and we're in a good place. At the end of turn 4, the Guardian drone there managed to recoup a wound thanks to It Will Not Die.
House MALINAX turn 5. We scored 2 VPs at the beginning of the turn, which was fantastic. However, now, as it's possibly the last turn, we have abandoned the Dominion objectives and we're just making the play for it. The Warden on our left flank has gone straight towards the enemy HQ, and we'll try and see if he can do a little bit of damage with his shooting, if not charge, and see if his destroyer attack can maybe cut the head off the beast. In the centre of the table, the Majira has abandoned his post, as it were, and is going to see if he can fire his lightning gun and other weapons into the back of that Guardian. And finally, the Warden on our right flank is just going to stay in combat and see if he can finish off that unit of worker drones. MALINAX turn 5 shooting, and we'll start with the Majira in the centre of the table. It's fired its lightning cannon at the Guardian drone in the centre of the board. It's a hit. Strength 7, toughness 8, so 5s to wound, but we do get shred. So let's see what we can do. No. Reroll for shred? No, unfortunate. Ooh. Next up, we'll fire the phase plasma fusel, see if we can chip a wound off. 3 shots. All hit, that's great. Strength 6, toughness 8, so we are wounding on 6s, however. No, not quite. Unfortunate. Next up, we have the Night Warden. He's going to empty his Avenger Gatling cannon into the face of that Guardian drone Warlord. We're going to see if we can score any rending hits. So 12 shots hitting on 3, sorry. That is 3 misses, not too bad. And then we are strength 6, toughness 8, so wounding on 6s, but 6s rend. So we will go through their 2-up armor. See if we can get 2 6s. I'll take it.
All right, so we only get our 4-up invulnerable save, which we pass 1, fail 1, and a feel no pain, which we fail, so we take a wound.
Turn 5 assault phase, and we're going to go straight into the only combat that matters. The Warden is going to charge the HQ. That is a 5, but should still just be in. Going straight into the combat, we have a Hammer of Wrath at initiative 10, strength 10, 2s to wound, that is a 6.
Oh, 2-up armor. Fail, unbelievable. Feel no pain though, that is a fail, also suffers a wound.
Okay. 4 attacks on the charge, hitting on 3s. That is 3 hits, not too bad. 3 rolls in the destroyer table. Okay, that is nothing on a 1 and 2 D3. Not great, but still enough to potentially kill him.
All right, we get a 5+ invulnerable save in combat, which we fail both.
Okay, so 2 D3. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is only 2 wounds.
All right, we still get feel no pain though. No, and that's 2 wounds suffered. The Guardian drone will strike back with 2 attacks requiring 4s to hit. Well, we get 1 hit, not too bad. It's a strength 10 armor bane attack, so that does pen, and we'll see if we can get any additional damage, which we don't, so that is just 1 whole point. The Guardian drone will try a hit and run. We require a 2 or under though, so it's a bit tough. Yeah, we fail, so that combat will continue.
On to the next combat, we have the Warden against the worker drone unit. The long ongoing combat. 3 attacks at initiative 4. Hitting on 3s, that is 2 hits, not too bad. Roll on the destroyer table. Oh, okay, no 6s, which we're fishing for, but 2d3. So we have invulnerables to take.
Okay, invulnerable 6+. No.
Okay, so that's 2d3. Oh, that is 3 apiece. So that is 6 wounds dealt out.
All right, so we'll do this individually. So 1 has suffered 3 wounds, so we're doing them for him. Fail, so he's killed, and 1 has 1 wound on him. And that is failed also. So both of those drones are dead.
At the end of that, the knight will consolidate 4 centimeters. Finally, the Majira in the center of the board has an 11 centimeter charge to try and make it into the back of that Guardian. See what we can do. That is a double 3, so no. End of turn 5 for MALINAX. We've done everything we can to try and tie up these alien menace. We are scoring victory points quickly from Dominion, but we are losing the battle of attrition, and we have already lost our Warlord. So the victory points are going to be really tight. We could potentially do with a turn 6, see if we can kill off a few more units, but it might not occur, so we'll have to see if we've done enough.
XENOS turn 5 moving, potentially the last turn of the game. The worker drones have just consolidated onto that objective, and they scored a victory point this turn. The Warlord Guardian's obviously still in combat with the Warden, and then finally this other Guardian has moved towards that Majira and will engage it in shooting and close combat. XENOS turn 5 shooting. We're going to start with the Guardian drone in the centre of the board in front of the Majira with its destruction spike. It's a haywire attack, so let's see what we get. Okay, that is a glance, but we get an ion shield save.
4 up, no, it goes through.
Okay, let's see if this heavy mind blast can hit this time. So we hit on a 2, thankfully, and we'll roll on the D chart. It is a 6, but it only causes D3 damage if we roll a 6 due to the polaric rule.
We still get that ion shield save, so let's see if we can make it. No, not on a 1, so it's D3.
Oh, let's have a roll, big roll. Okay, we caused 1 whole point. XENOS turn 5 assault phase, and we'll go straight into the charge between the Guardian and the Majira, and we require a 2 centimeter charge, and that makes it into combat. Starting initiative 10, we've got Hammer of Wrath, and we require a 5 to glance, which we fail. Striking initiative 2, the Guardian drone will strike first because the Majira has been concussed by the disruption spike. We'll go in with 3 attacks, hitting on 4s. 1 hit, classic. We are strength 10 armor bane AP1, which is pretty good though. And we are out of the dice tray, but it doesn't matter. That is a pen. And let's see if we cause any additional damage. +2 to this roll, no. And that is 1 whole point.
Striking back at initiative 1, we have 3 attacks from the Majira. See if you can do any damage to this Guardian drone. Hitting on 3s. Only 2 hits. 2 hits with the Siege Claw, and we are rolling on the Destroyer table. That is 2d3, not bad. He only has 2 wounds left, so we might be able to kill him here. However, you get your invulnerable saves.
Yeah, we get a 5 up in combat, which is a little bit better than the smaller ones.
Wow. Lovely stuff.
Moving on to the other combat with the Guardian Warlord and the Warden. Again, the Knight has been concussed by the disruption spike, and we will strike him with 2 attacks requiring 4s. That is 1 hit with strength 10 AP1 armor bane. That is a pen, thankfully, so we've got a whole point so far. Let's see if we can see cause some more damage, which we do. D3 additional. Okay, that is a total of 4 whole points, and that will destroy the Warden. Correction, sorry, he's taken 1, and that will reduce him to 5 whole points. 1 remaining.
Striking back on his last legs, we have the Warden. 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. Only 2 hits, but that's not too bad. Destroyer result. Ooh, 1-1, so that is 1d3. The the Guardian has 2 wounds remaining, so this is a big roll.
All right, 5 up. No.
Ooh, okay, d3 wounds go through. 2, so this is enough to kill him. However, he has 2 feel no pain rolls, so either one of these made, he's still alive.
All right, let's have a look. We need this to stay in the game. Oh, look at that! Amazingly, he's left with 1 wound. End of turn 5 for the XENOS. What an amazing game this has been so far. We are at turn 5 though, so we do need to roll for random gain length to see if we continue into another turn.
Okay, let's roll this. The Knights would really like another turn, see if we can bring down some of those Guardian drones. 3 up. That is a 2. That is the end of the game. So we'll have to tot up the victory points and see who has won.
Game 3, a rising tide, is over. And that was pretty intense.
That came down to some really tight dice rolls, actually.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of a massacre at one point, but do you know what? The Knights and the XENOS held in there, and look at where we are at the end of the game. You know, we've almost switched objectives as well, haven't we?
Yeah, almost switched sides as well. I think that ambush sort of infiltrate outflank really helped, because coming on straight away and being able to get side and rear shots, as we found from different games, that's when the Knights start dropping real fast. You know, I think one of the Majiras died just shooting in a single turn, whereas, you know, the front armor and flare shield or iron shield, you can just be plinking away turn after turn. So positioning matters. Who knew?
Who knew? It was a thrilling game. Lots of movement in this one as well, which was really cool. You know, those knights are pretty speedy when they want to be as well. So really, really good. We'll go on to victory points. It's reasonably close, to be fair. Let's start with the knights.
So they didn't score any victory points in the first turn, but 2 to 5, they scored 2 every turn. So a total of 8 Dominion victory points, which is quite good. I usually fluff Dominion and forget to take any objectives, so quite pleased with that.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I always remember Dominion halfway through the game, and by then it's too late. You've got to get those points in early to give you a good base. It also gives you a bit of a boost as well, personally, so it kind of spurs you on to do a little better in the game. So it's all psychological. Anyway, 7 points scored from victory points from the XENOS, which is great. But we did get Warlord and we did get the attrition, which is pretty cool, really. So we're going to have a dice tray, see what we get. Yeah, that's not too bad. So another 4 points onto that, which takes us to 11. So final score, my maths are right, 8-11 to the XENOS. So not bad, not bad.
XENOS win, yeah.
Not bad at all. So where does that put us in the realms of campaign points?
Tied overall, essentially. So for mission 1, Knights won. Mission 2 was a spectacular draw, and now mission 3, the XENOS have won. So we are at 3 campaign points apiece: 2 for a win, 1 for a draw, 0 for a loss. So we are neck and neck. Thematic as well, as you know, the MALINAX and Mechanicum aren't taking the threat very seriously in the first couple turns, or missions rather. And this mission, A Rising Tide, is when they realise quite how serious the threat is, and now the XENOS are ramping up their attacks and devastation. And to be honest, I think in game terms as well, the more they sort of exponential when you start having several units of 3 or 4 plus the Guardians. They really get scary. Whereas in those smaller point games to start with, I think the Knights had the slight edge maybe. Yeah,
definitely. You know, that disruption spike on those Guardian drones is really good. That haywire attack, and essentially, as you found out, when we talked about it in kind of the primer for the series, you know, it's taken very much off the Thanatar, the Calyx there with its big, I can't remember what it's called. It's massive graviton ram. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's quite a nifty bit of kit, really.
Yeah.
That's it. Our next one is going to go up to 3,000 points. So another 500 point increase. What are you going to do? Are you going to have some more Styrics and Magia in there with their Ionic Flare Shield?
They are tempting because that -1 strength is amazing.
It's good.
We might bring some big guns, maybe a Porphyron.
Oh, nice.
Get the Magna las cannons out and sort of lay down the fire. So we'll see. Yeah, it might be quite a shooty list. Perhaps we'll try leaning into that a bit more, but who knows.
Good stuff. All right, I look forward to that. I really hope you've enjoyed this series of games. Again, if you haven't watched the primer for this series, go back and watch it, and that explains all of the rules, because there are some rules in there that are an exception to the rulebook, particularly with the Feel No Pain and against D-weapon attacks. But there's a rule to cover that, so don't worry about it. But thank you so much for watching. You can find Boris at
Pack_Paints on Instagram,
and the channel, of course, at 30k Channel, and we'll see you in Game 4.